Howdy all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. We got a new project here. It's another riding mower. Pardon the pollen. I know it looks terrible because of all the pollen. And the hood will be changed. I have the original hood right here. And a deck bracket for the hood as well that I had to buy already, which I've already bought because I know that this lawnmower runs. The bracket was about $22, $23. So, thing I know about this is it is a Craftsman with a hydro transmission. And on the side it says it's a 20 horse V-twin. When you look under the hood, somebody has repowered it to a 19.5 opposed twin. That does run, and it runs good. I have the deck for it down here, over here. It just was off the mower when I originally got it. Also have a deck built for it. Father and son tried to use this, I guess, and take it apart and work on it some. And it hasn't really, I don't think it's really been moved in a while. The hydro belt's looks a little rough in my opinion. I'll have to buy one of them. But he says it doesn't, or he said it didn't move. And I know why, because the hydro pulley down here is, where is it? Right there, is busted. You see that? So I've had this mower for a few weeks now, and so I have the hydro pulley already purchased. It's about $7 to $8. There's your number, 179114. And so we're going to get to work on that. Like I said, it does run. I just need to put a battery in it, put air in the tires, and we'll get this thing rolling. Alrighty, well, here's how I'm approaching this. I put a 9/16 inch socket. I have the wheels turned all the way to the left. This has got the newer style semicircle bracket on it. And I got a 3/8 inch ratchet on it. And your nut is right there. I don't know if you can see it. But you have to turn the wheel all the way to the left in order to be able to get it. And I have a 9/16 with an impact on it that I'm using to get that off. So let's see if we can do that real quick. See if this will work. There we go. Oops. So that also holds on your deck bracket or your belt guide pulley. So make sure that you got that right as well whenever you put that back. So we're gonna put that back on. I'll show you the end result, and then I'll put this crappy looking belt back on it and see if it'll at least drive for us. So the bolt, here's a comparison between the old pulley and the new pulley. So they've tried to run this and skint the build up on it. The old bolt looks like this. It had a washer on it. So it makes me think that somebody was in this already before. The new bolt, or the one that came with the new pulley, the new to me pulley, has this little square device in it, a little locking device, which is what that hole back there in the back has, and I think is what's supposed to be in here. So we're going to put that down. We're going to feed it through the pulley there, pulley guide. Lock it down. You should have a little bit easier time putting that one back in. So I just wanted to show you the pulley setup. Oh, that sun's glaring right there, but there's your pulley setup. So the one we replaced is the one that has the flat. You put the flat part of the belt on the back of it. You have this one, there's where the ribbed part of the belt is. So if you're replacing a pulley, make sure you get the right one. Look up your owner's manual on your lawn tractor if you don't have one. And I was just actually looking at the brake setup. I didn't realize the brake setup on a hydro was different than it is on a regular. So this number right here, 917-271-920. There's a lot of wikis and whatnot online that'll give you your owner's manual for this. Just make sure you find one for the hydro transmission, and that'll get you your right part numbers. Now, those who are curious about when this lawnmower was made, on these old Craftsmans with the 917s, your serial number is 082802. It's August 28th of 2002 is when this lawnmower was made. So, we got that pulley set up. I know this lawnmower will run. At least I heard it running when I bought it, so I just got to get the key in there. We can try and crank it. The thing is stubborn. It doesn't seem like it has had a key in there for a while. I do know that it runs, like I said. I put a battery in, I'll show you that it runs, and we're going to just test drive it. And then, if everything checks out, I'm going to order a deck belt for it. Make sure all these tires hold air too. I just pumped them up. Quick overview of this lawnmower. I got 2 for 1. I traded a 16 horse Craftsman. It was the same color, but it was the gear drive with the smaller back tires on it. Had a Craftsman V twin, and I got this one like a 2 for 1 deal. I didn't exchange any money. Already sold the Craftsman V twin for $380 plus an MTD trade, and then this one will probably be in the $450 to $500 range, depending on how clean I can get it. It's just got a bunch of caked on pollen right now, so it'll get clean though. Not worried about that. Let's put a battery in it, get it running, and then we will make sure that she drives, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, I'll put a battery in it. I know the battery's good. I just tested it. It's testing like 12.4 something volts. Plenty of oil in it as well. As you can see, it's basically full. Just needs changed. Air filter, I want to put a new air filter on it too. I've got another opposed twin back there that I need an air filter, so I'll just buy 2. Save a little bit. Let's see if we'll crank up. It is clicking at the solenoid, so I wonder if I got a loose connection at the solenoid. Problem with where these are located is that you can't really get to them very easily. There we go. Just kind of need to be woke up, I guess. I heard it run before. See if it's getting any gas. I don't see any gas. I wonder if it leaked. I wonder if it's even got any gas in it. No. Let me put gas in it and we'll try it again. Alrighty, I'll take 2. I'll leave you over here this time. Good, you hear it. months. I love these opposed swim rigs. They are awesome. Make sure the battery, we're gonna make sure the battery's charging on it. These opposed twins take a lot of juice to get going, especially now that they've got some age on them. Running, I'll move on to the hood repair. It's very easy. I'll just show y'all instead of doing it on camera. You just pop the bracket into its place right there. Find some screws that work. Just screw it in there. You're good. So I'm going to do that while this thing's running. Just as maybe a test, I might throw the deck belt on it just to make sure that it cuts. And then I'll order the parts that we need. I'll make sure that the tires also stay inflated as well. Alright, so here's the deck for it. As you can tell, it's in decent shape. A little bit of surface rust. I'll just hit it with the black a little bit. All the hardware is here. They had actually taken it off before I got it. And so I've just got to put it back on. Shouldn't be too difficult. I don't see any grooves in the deck, which is a good thing. Because it looks like the blade brakes have been taken off of this thing, so won't be any blade brakes on it. But everything else works the way that it should, so that's what I care about. Really no resistance there, which is what I like. I have a deck return spring as well to put on it, which I'll go ahead and do while I'm thinking about it. That way the blades retract like they're supposed to. It's in here somewhere. I'll show y'all that I put it on there. I'll get that deck mocked up. Y'all seen it's like a 7-point hookup. Oh, here it is. This is your rotary part number 10-15543. We'll put this blade spring on it, and I'll put the deck under there, get it mocked up, and we'll test out and see if it works. If it does, drive belt, air filter, and this thing will be ready to go. Alright, so the deck is on, the deck belt is on. What I like about these is that all you have to do is take that little spring action off to get this deck belt off, as opposed to the old ones where you have to take a couple of deck brackets and whatnot off of it. Excuse me. So deck belt's on. We'll see if it'll turn over for us and run. We know it'll do that, but we'll see if the deck belt works on it too. And if so, we're going to be in good shape. We'll just wait on that. We'll go ahead and clean it up. We'll wait on the drive belt, and also we'll wait on the other stuff that we need. dry belt and the air filter. That's what I was trying to think of. All right, here we go. Doesn't want to crank now. How about that? We'll have to get the solenoid fixed too. Here we go. All right, well, let me fix that solenoid. Because it won't hardly crank now. Oh, it's getting bound up on something. I don't know what, though. I wonder if the deck belt's having an issue with it. Probably. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's trying to turn the blades. Okay. Let me do that. Pull this up a little bit. See what that'll do. Very interesting. Started just fine just a second ago. Now I can get it to barely even turn. Okay. I think those connections might be a little loose. So I won't do anything. Let me get the starter solenoid connections fixed, and then we'll catch back up with this thing. Because I think I've got some sort of issue with that. Since it seems hard to turn over. And the solenoid's clicking, so it's something between the solenoid and the starter that's causing the issues. Let me investigate, I'll come back to it. So I ran it a little off camera. The blades do work on it. One of the blades actually is loose. I didn't check it before I did that. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the deck back off of it, and then I'll go ahead and wash the whole tractor, and then I'll, you know, see what I need to do from there. I think it'll be alright by just putting blades on it. It does move the blades a little bit when you're turning, but what I'll do is I'll lube up and check that blade engaged mechanism like I've done with all the Craftsmen that have come through recently, and so I'll do that and we'll see what we got. Shouldn't take much to get this one right. Shouldn't be too difficult. So these blades are pretty much as good as garbage. Unfortunately, they have messed up the star bits on the spindles here. So what I might have to do, because I don't want to buy new spindles because the spindles on it are just fine otherwise, I might pop the new blades on, grind down a little bit of this area right here, find a good ground, and just weld them to the spindles. I have a feeling that whoever buys this is probably not going to be changing blades and such on it very often. So I might do that just kind of as a way to not have to spend $40 on spindles and, you know, make it work. I know probably won't be the most popular opinion out of everybody, but I'm going to at least try and do that. That way I can have two spindles to where the blades aren't slipping off of it once I put the new blades on it. So yeah, so I'm going to do that and clean out from under the deck here as well, just so we can get this thing running reliably deck wise. Alright, I want to show you what I did with the blades here. And just like I said, I just welded them on to the spindles. I kind of tack welded them, that way if you hit them you can still get them off. Blades should be good for a little while though. Take your 9/16 impact, just tighten them up. And there you go. So the blades are good now. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, I guess I'll wait on the drive belt, and I think I got a bad battery in that thing, so I'm gonna replace the battery in it, and with a known good battery to see if that solenoid issue goes away or if it still persists. I think that battery is seeping out of the positive terminal, and I think it doesn't have any cranking amps. So I'm gonna do that, and then when the drive belt and the air filter comes in, we'll fix it up. Alright, so here we go with replacing the drive belt on the Craftsman. Here is your part number. Actually got a genuine drive belt. Somebody was, I guess, selling second hand, actually cheaper than most of the generic ones that you find. 140294, and there's your belt routing. This shows you on the back. The person that I bought this from has already helped me out quite a bit in taking out the back panel of the mower, which is going to make my job even easier because I can get access to the hydro pulley a lot easier. So I don't know if y'all can see it very well, but that belt is chewed to pieces. So we're gonna fix it. Part breakdown is what you want to start out with. I'm going to get my blankets out, that way I don't get myself terribly dirty. But I'll set y'all down and I'll show you the routing again under here. What I'd try to start off doing is taking it off right here on the edge of the pulley itself. Like one of these pulleys right here, take it off whenever you have the park breakdown. You can see that it's loose because I have the park breakdown. And then we just take it off. So what I'm going to do, I'll get the blankets set up and I'll get y'all set up. That way you can watch me take it off. Let's see if this works for you. That does not. That does. All right. It's easy to show you on top of the mower, but not on the bottom of it. So, just take it out of the pulley here. Really easy to do. Out of the guides. And the way the belt was, it was actually starting to wear on this pulley as well, but it's not worn to the point of replacement. So next, we've got that. Maybe I can take it off the front here. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera, but I'm taking it off of the pulley on the front. Here we go. What I've got to do is I've actually got to go under the guides, which is a little bit more tricky. But I go under the guides, that way you don't have to take the whole pulley mechanism off of the lawn tractor on the front. There we go. Alright, I had a visitor there for a minute, but I wanted to show you the back of the pulley here. So what I did, after I got the smaller pulleys off and got it around the those and got the Like I said, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I was able to bring the pulley, or bring the belt down on the pulley. You want to go down versus up. You can do this without taking all the guides and such off. As you can see, I got it off right here on the front now. But on the back, what you do, after you take the small pulleys off, you've got enough slack, you can just pull the belt off and over, and just instead of trying to make a mess of it, you can just turn, there we go, you can just turn the pulley around the fins on the fan, and the fins on the fan will feed the belt around and take it off of the hydro pulley over there. Last thing you want to do is mess up those fins on the fan. But there's one more guy that you got to take it out right there, and the drive belt is off. And let me take it out of here and we'll show you the condition of it. That with it not being on the tractor, as you can see, it's glazed over. You can see where it's been hitting those plastic pulleys and messing them up. Cracks, wear all over the place on this thing. Maybe not so much cracks, but a lot of excessive wear. Probably the original drive belt for the mower. So throw it in the trash, and we'll get the new belt, which is right here. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? So I'm going to use the opposite method of putting it on as I did to take it off. If there are any tricks, I'll let you know, and we'll get the belt on, and then we'll move on to the deck, because I want to make so this blade engage works a little bit better than it is. I'll probably just take off this nut right here and fix it. I think the issue was also that the blades are sliding around on the pulleys, and the pulleys are like, what the heck am I supposed to do, you know? So, whew. Sounds like it's got like air brakes on it. Sometimes they just need to be used, especially if they haven't been used in a while. So let me get this drive belt back on, and then we'll look at that deck. So there were no surprises on the deck belt. The deck belt is now on, and it is nice and tight. And so that should solve our issue that we had of it burning up the pulleys and whatnot. The deck, I went ahead and did that off camera. All it is you have a 9/16 and you take a 9/16 impact. You remember the orientation of it. This one did not have grooves in the deck. Sometimes you'll see grooves in the deck, and the reason why is because it looks like the blade brakes have been disassembled on these things to where they're not used anymore. So looks like they broke off at some point. We don't need them. The pulleys are going to turn like they need to. The blade engage is working like it is supposed to now, and all I did was just kind of spray or take a wire brush and just kind of grind off some of the rust, and then use some penetrating oil and just kind of lube it up. And so it's engaging and disengaging smoother now. We'll get this on the mower, and we'll make sure that the deck and everything's working like it's supposed to. Like I said, I think it was trying, and it didn't wear the belt much, but I think it was trying to eat the belt because of the way that the blades were spinning around on them blade adapters. And I know I meant to address this earlier, but I know that some of y'all are going to be like, why in the world did you weld the blades onto it? Well, it was the free option. And also, it's I mean, I guess you can call it a safe option. It works fine for what I need it to do. But I didn't weld them to the point where you can't get them off. You should have a few swift whacks of the hammer, nothing different than if the blades got rusted on to the pulley to get them off. That's my hope. And like I said, for the lawnmower itself, this mower will likely never see another set of blades either. So you just kind of have to, you know, on lawnmowers that you're going to sell for $500 or less, you kind of have to determine what is a necessary fix and what will be enough for you to, you know, make it through. And so I made the determination that tack welding the blades on so that they don't spin around on the pulleys, as opposed to getting brand new spindles, was the better option of the two. And so that's why I went that route. I'll get this deck on. Y'all have seen me get it off before, so you shouldn't have any issue getting it back on. It's your 7-point, or is it 5 points on this? I think it's 7. 2 in the front, 2 on the side, and then that one in the back. Maybe this one's just a 5. But we'll get the deck on and we'll test this thing out. If it works, we'll put tire tubes in the 3 tires that need it, and we'll also service the engine. I've got air filters for it, and so we'll do all that here in just a second. Alright, so I've got it. I'm about to test it out. I put a new battery in it. Obviously I haven't touched the tires or anything of that nature yet. New battery. The one area that I'm concerned a little bit about, and I can show you, is right here between this blade spindle and this pulley right here. It seems, let me engage the blades real quick. It seems that there's a lot of like elevation change right here between the pulley and the blade, or and the spindle. So I'm curious if it tears the belt a little bit more. I've got the strap on it, that way I can run it with the blades on and just kind of look at it while it's running to see. So let's see if this thing cranks. Okay. Does run a very, very tiny bit. In the high position. Let's get it out here a little bit. Hey, drive belt works. That's good. Let's see what happens. Sounds a lot better, I can tell you that. Alright, so let me look at the belt. I can't tell if it's wearing any more on the top or not. Oh yeah, it is, I think. It looks like it is, at least. Maybe it just needs to be broken in, I don't know. That seems like some excessive wear on it though. You see little shards of it coming off too. Makes me wonder. I wonder, because it sounds good. Makes me wonder if that one of these pulleys is a little off of alignment. This pulley is rusted a little bit, so I don't know if it's like trying to do that. I hate to ruin a belt though, just testing it out. like I said, when I put the blades on, it looks like it's trying to chew it off right here around this pulley. Because it's wearing it at the top a little bit more than it is at the bottom, which tells me that it's chewing it off of the pulley or somewhere on the top. What I might do, let's see, I'm not sure, guys. I don't think it'll be wearing itself out as if everything was lined up. And like I said, it could just be some rust on the pulleys that's causing it to do its thing. Huh. It could just need a deck alignment because it is a little bit low on the side here. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to investigate a little bit more, and in all honesty, I might cut the grass with it and see what happens. Worst case, I guess I'd chew up an $8 deck belt, which I guess wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I want to make sure it's right for whoever gets it, because I don't want it to be messing up on them. So yeah, let me figure out what's going on here. I'll align the deck belt on it, and might cut a little bit of grass and see what happens with it. Alright, so I've been looking at the pulleys, and nothing looks abnormal. I don't know why it would be potentially eating the belt up, as apart from there may be a little bit of rust on the pulleys from where it hasn't been used very much. What I am going to do, if I have to sacrifice an $8 belt, so be it. I'm going to take this thing out, I'm going to run it, cut with it, and throw my nice little mulching cover on it, wherever that is here it is, in the garage. Clean up my garage when I'm at it at some point. I feel like that's going to be the running joke of my channel. So my garage always looks like a bomb went off in it. It really looks a lot worse than it actually is. I'm going to pop this mulching cover on it. I'm literally just going to take it out and cut the grass with it. See what happens. If it passes and it's not wearing the belt any more than it already has, then we'll roll on with it. Put the tire tubes and such in it. Let it ride. If it doesn't, then we'll have to investigate the whole deck deal a little bit more. But I mean, like I said, we'll find out. Deck's pretty lined up. I mean, the deck is level now, and I've pumped up all the tires. So we'll see what happens. I'll report back after I finish cutting the grass. Alrighty, I'm going to end part one here. I did test mow the front yard, and there's good news to report. It appears that the deck belt is in good shape. It just needed, I guess, to get the initial groove worn into it. As you can see, it's not... I've used it for about 15-20 minutes. It's not worn any worse than it was. You can see that down there. It's not worn any worse than it was, so I'm good on that. The drive belt works great. So it's running and cutting. I think it's having a fuel delivery issue because I don't think the fuel pump's quite working right, because it won't pull up any gas up into this thing. So looks like the gas lines are good on it. I did put the new air filter in it, so I'm thinking that there's either debris in the fuel pump or the fuel pump's going out, which I would presume is a common issue on these, especially considering that the motor is almost 20 years old. So I'll probably have to order a fuel pump. I'll save that for part two. But I do have good news. I would show you that it's running, but I can't get any gas to it, and it was trying to starve for fuel. I was running it on full choke there for a while so that it would actually pull gas in. I will do part 2 on this though. I am not sure if it's just some trash in it. If it's some trash in it, then we'll do what we need to do. And it's not a carb issue because the fuel, I don't have any gas going in the fuel filter here, so it's something related to the pump. Good news is it runs and cuts. All the issues were fixed with the drive and the deck. I do have to put tire tubes in it still. I usually don't do that on camera since I've done so many of them. And I think I've got to clean out a little bit of debris and such inside these shrouds. I've seen a little bit of debris, so we'll clean that out as well. So we'll have part 2 on this. I appreciate y'all watching as always. And I'll catch y'all on part 2 of this LT1000. If you want to follow me with real-time updates of what I'm doing right now, you can catch me at Ellis Mowers 09 over on Instagram and Facebook. I'll catch y'all on the next one.